Alright, hello and welcome back to how to make a dialogue editor. And this video we're actually going to make so we can save our version and play it in play mode, because right now we have a bug, a quite horrible bug, that I actually accidentally added this part in here because I thought it was clever, and it was clever, until I found out that you cannot build when using the dialogue editor, which is up here. And right now that's gonna create a bunch of errors, but we're going to fix those, so don't you worry. So we need to remove the Unity dialog editor, and the dialog editor is made so that you can edit in the game, but you're not supposed to edit when the game is running. So that is why Unity decided that you cannot use the dialog editor when building a game, and that's just to make it more safe for developers, or else that if it was the other way around, we could suddenly start, editing our own game in play mode, and that's not what we want. All right, so now that we have done this, let's actually go in and look how we fix this. We actually need to go into our dialog node first, so we can see we are right here. So I'm gonna open up my notes and find that specific spot. All right, so right now we are saving the dialog node port into dialog node port, but that doesn't exist anymore. So we're of course going to remove that. However, how are we then going to find the correct port? Well, we're actually going to use the port's name to be the new way of IDing it. And how are we going to do that, you ask? Well, we already have an ID on our dialog node port, and that is the port gun. If I could spell, that is. Oh yeah, it needs to be dialog port. And that is the port gun. The port gun is of course a unique string ID, so we're of course going to use that one. And let me just check here. Yes, and now we also need to get our hand into the dialog node port. Now, let me just show what we can here. I don't think I can even show you because of all the bugs. No, let's just quickly fix some of the port. No. Alright, I'm just gonna leave this one here for now, because I want to show you the bug that because this creates a bug that we then are going to fix, but for now I'm just gonna leave it here, so you can see the thing the bug that we actually creating. It's down here, we can't use this one anymore to find it, because now we need to, oh, let's actually first duplicate it. Oh, I want it on the next line, and then hide it away. Alright. So instead of finding my port, we then need to, oh yeah, I forgot. We need to do this and this. Beautiful. Instead of to import my port, we're then going to say port.gun and port.port. If I could spell P-O-R. Oh, why would it do that now? Is that because port? Oh yeah, I'm using port. How I'm going to solve this. So this is the port that goes down, and we're going to find a port. So we're just gonna call this find port. There we go. Alright, and then we can go port name. So as you can see here, we are saving the port gun into the port name, and we are then going to look for the port name that has that gun. And that way we can find the correct port and then delete it that way. So we can just remove that, and then now we have fixed this problem. And then we need to go into our save version. Now this is we need to rebuild this a little bit. A little bit, I probably mean a lot. Oh, not this part actually, because now we are the edge here. We're literally just going to say edge output dot port name, and of course instead of port we are going to say port gun, and that is the fix for this one here. Rather easy, right? Then we have the load in version now. That is a little more tricky, and I'm gonna find my notes for it. All right. Actually, let's just add some of the comments I have. So I add some comments. So here we make connection for all the nodes except the dialog node. And down here we make connection for the dialog nodes. So first we check all the dialog nodes, and then we check all the port in the dialog node. So here we check if the port is empty, like if it has a connection. So let's just add this beautiful little thing here. But now we actually need to rebuild this down here. So first we need to find the target node, find the target node with that ID. Then let me just look at this. Yeah, this actually needs to go way down. And we actually need to add a port. Just gonna call my port equals null. The reason why we are giving it null in the beginning is because we just want to add that down here. And if we didn't give it a null in the beginning, it will give an error down here. So that is the reason why we are giving it null in the beginning. And then we want to make a for each loop. And that for each loop, we want to go through the dialog node, and we want to go through each of its outputs in the output container. And inside that, we have a child number. So we can go through all the numbers in the child. That is labels, outputs, everything that is inside of it. And then we want to check for each of those if they are a dialog node port. So we're going to go dialog.output container, and then we're going to check, of course, which number of the child it is, and then we're going to ask it, are you a port? So port. And if it is a port, we want, of course, the port's name. So we're going to go port name. Is that equals to node port dot port gun? Here we go. There. And again, this is the queue thingy is a new thing that comes with the view graph, and is a part of the view elements thingy. I don't know much about that, so sorry about that. And then let's add the comment I made here. So here we check all the ports in the node outputs. It actually checks everything inside of it. And if it is a port, well, then we find the port with that ID, and then we use the port's name as ID. Of course, we are using the port's name as ID. And if my port equals dialog node dot output, oh not if, then we will set it to, of course, to be that port. There we go. So we will set it to be that port, and then we will link that port together with the other ones. And I'm just gonna copy paste this one here, and we will make the connection and save. All right, let's have a look if that actually worked. Let's see, and you can see it worked beautifully. However, we can now see the ID here, and that is not really something we want now, is it? So we are going into do that fix I was speaking about. So we're gonna go back to dialog node, and we're going back up here, and I'm gonna quickly find my notes. And now we're going to find the label of port name label equals the port dot content container dot q, then label, because we want to find a label, and we want to find the label type. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why type. However, it seems that it will find the name of the port this way. I gonna be completely honest, I don't know why it does that. I couldn't find anything on why, but it works. I think it's just gonna find that I'm gonna be honest, I have no fucking idea. Oh, sorry. Sorry for the language. Alright, so next we want to add a class to it because we're actually going just to hide it away using the style sheet. So we're gonna name it port name. And as you can see here, and I'm just gonna copy paste further side to get some comments in. Block. So we use the port name as the port ID. We get the label in the port that we used to contain the port name. Here we add the USS class so we can hide it in the editor. So we of course gonna save this, and we're gonna go back in, and of course it isn't hidden away yet, as you can see. So we're of course going to add up, I'll open up the note here. I think it was the note. Let me just quickly look at my notes. It is. All right. So we're gonna go port name, and inside here we are going to do something called display none. And this way it should not be displayed anymore. So let's go back. And you can now see it is now not displayed. Wonderful. Another thing you might notice now, if we make a dialog here. No, it's actually working as I wanted. Then why in the world have I added that? I think I just added something in there that I wasn't using, because you can see right now it's easy to get our hands into this. It's rather easy, right? Because we could also just have go into our code in the dialog node here, and instead just removed it. So we're just gonna go. No, I just have to remember how how you do that. So we're gonna go dialog node dot visual. How? I guess that would be port dot remove port label and save. Now we're gonna go back in. As you see, it didn't change anything, and you go, alright, why didn't we just do that? That seems a lot easier. Well, that's because now we can't really get our hands on this thing here. And we have to be like here to get our hands. It's really hard to get this thing here now. Or if you like make another one and just connect this pretty easy, but it's really hard to get your hands on this for some reason. So that is why we just hide it away. So we hide it away, save, go back, and we add the dialog node in again. And the choices you can see is really easy to get those now. And I used a ridiculous amount of time to figure this one out. Also, another thing you might have noticed is that the names of your has disappeared, and your pictures has disappeared. Well, that's because in my infinite wisdom, by renaming it, I actually also Unity will decide that it is a new variable, and remove everything inside its safe. So I don't hope you have built a too big of a system, because then I'm really sorry about it. Sorry. Let's see, how long is this video? Yeah, I think that's about right. So now you should be able to, save it and load it back in. So no, hello, not load it back in. Let's actually just quick remove the green parts that we are not using anymore. Where? Oh, let's just quickly go back and open up dialog container, because we don't need this anymore, and we don't need this down here. And in dialog notes, we have this beautiful blob of code. Yep. That should be it right here for now. And save. Alright. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.